What?
When she's like casually not bulking, she looks normal. So yo, if you're listening to this, hit me up. If you're normal, like.
If you're VAR girl, hit Soosh.
No, honestly, yo, if you're on gear and you're a girl, like I don't care. That's not like a.
No, that's a good thing.
It's not a deal breaker at all.
Well, unless they're on like test, because then they got like, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Then they got a clit that looks like this.
Well, even that, I don't even care. As long as you look pretty, dude. I can give a fuck if you're running trend. If you look good, like to me, then I'll be with you.
Yeah, but when you take her pants off and she got the little thumb clit, that's what happens when they run stuff.
That I feel like girls are more inclined to be fake natty because they might think it's unattractive to guys.
That, and also it's just like, if you're a guy taking a guy hormone, that's not the end of the world. It doesn't seem weird. But if you're a girl taking a guy hormone, people are gonna look at you like, eh.
If you're a girl on gear watching this video, which is probably 0, but yeah, me.
What the fuck ruined the structural integrity of this yoke? I just dumped it into the thing and it broke.
Yo, Aiden Lamb, if you're watching this oat milk tastes like fucking dog shit, bro.
Yeah, what's up with Aiden Lamb and his oat milk obsession?
I think it's goat milk.
Goat milk?
Yeah,
well, that's very different,
I'm drinking
bro.
oat milk.
All right, so for breakfast we have a Thomas's English muffin, 3 eggs over easy, and I'm not putting cheese on them because you guys got fucking mad at me, and then just a scoop of whey. So if you guys remember from the last video, all my meals were pretty hard to eat, and I basically told Kyle that, and I'm like, dude, I need more palatable foods. So I was having cream of rice like 3 days a week before. I mean, three times a day before. 3 of my fucking meals had cream of rice in them, and now it's only 1 because he allowed me to swap out cream of rice for this kind of stuff. So I also had a blueberry muffin from Starbucks this morning, which was not on the meal plan, but I lost a shit ton of weight in LA. Isn't that right, Soosh? Because I was drinking a lot and threw up a lot.
Not eating, bro.
Not eating right, so I gotta put the weight back on. Just a couple of dudes figuring out what to caption a selfie for Snap. Damn. When was that? Prep?
Yeah. And now look at me.
Hey, we're both bulking.
Thanks, man.
And both of our faces get fat first, so.
Yeah, seriously though.
This guy's doesn't though.
Yeah, but I look like melted ice cream under here. Seen it now.
I'm gonna get so handsome when I'm tan.
Yeah, you're looking a little white there, but it's okay. I was whiter than you, bro. Take your vitamins.
I will.
Come with me.
Trust me, I will. Yeah, let's go.
I've been doing, you see me do this attachment all the time. This one with like the easy handles, but I flipped it around because I noticed that when I do it kind of reverse grip like this, I feel it so much more in my lower lat. And it's just exercise variation. I get sick of doing the same shit over and over.
Bro, he's so
Yeah, and I have to live with this guy. Fucking all the time.
Yo, I don't look that bad, right?
No, you look
I
big.
pretty sick, bro.
They're pretty massive.
All things considered.
You're lowering my audience retention, bro. Get this shit off the screen.
dead ass. I swear
Wait,
to God.
let's see.
I swear to
Spin.
God.
Oh yeah, shit.
I swear to God, your body actually looks dark. You look darker.
A little bit. You turn one shade darker. You look more bronzy. Now look at this guy. Holy shit, bro.
You're so dark, bro.
one
Dude,
session.
I did 0.75 unit. Instead
Oh
of-
really?
I,
Dude, yes. Holy shit, bro.
I said, fuck it, I'm gonna just do 0.75.
I told Soosh don't take Melanotan because he's like, I'm gonna get addicted to tanning, and I'm like, bro, you're just gonna turn black.
We all have addictive.
You're just gonna turn black.
If you lift, you have an addictive. We talked about this. You have addictive personality if you lift because you're addicted to seeing results. And then even tanning, I was like, bro, I was leaving the bed. I was like, when's my next time?
Yeah, but but why? But why the Melanotan? Do you want to be Asian black guy? You could rock it.
I don't know. It was cool. Maybe I'll do like Melanotan once a week and tan like 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
So, Q&A time. First question, what do you think about the whole mogging culture with E-frame, etc.? I mean, it kind of got hijacked, which I guess looking back on it was to be expected. It's unfortunate. Mog was good while it lasted. Mogging, mog, it was all great. We're keeping the name of the podcast Mogcast because it does sound sick, but in terms of like using it in everyday speech, we only use that very rarely nowadays if it's really warranted. Arm girth in inches. So glad you asked. I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna guess 17 3/4. You guys are just gonna have to trust me on this one, on the measurement. Oh, fuck. Bro, 18 even. 18.1. But we'll just say 18 even. Current cycle. I'm currently on 600 milligrams of, what the fuck am I running? Oh, 600 milligrams DECA per week and 12.5 milligrams of D-ball pre-workout, so 5 to 6 days a week. The DECA is the main mass builder, obviously, and then the D-ball is really just there in a low dose because I can't run super estrogenic compounds or my nipples will explode. So it's just there to have some pre-workout strength and aggression and just to get a little bit of estrogen. The reason the D-ball is only 12.5 is because they're 25 milligram pills and I cut them in half. So that's why it's such a specific number. Any tips for improving mental health and getting through rough patches? Much love. So I haven't really talked about mental health, I feel like, at least on my personal channel. And when I first dropped out of college and I didn't really have a plan or know what I was gonna do, I kind of got depressed, I would say. I don't know if that is like necessarily the right term, but I got into a real slump and I didn't know what to do with my life. And what kind of compounded this or exacerbated it was as I got into this slump, I also lost motivation to kind of take care of myself and take care of my surroundings. And that is very important. And I think a big contributing factor to what brought me out of my slump was just simply treating myself with more self-respect. So waking up, showering right away, like taking care of my hygiene, shaving, not like letting myself play the part of a fucking loser, cleaning my room, just doing the simple tasks of giving yourself the respect that you would give someone else is really important. So Jordan Peterson helped me a lot with this. You guys might have heard of him. He talks a lot about how important it is to clean your room. And for you guys that watch him, you know that that's kind of like a meme of his because he really drives that point home. But it is very important. If you live like a slob, you're gonna start considering yourself a slob. Like subconsciously, you're gonna consider yourself a slob and you're gonna lose respect for yourself. And if you're going through a rough patch, that is just going to exacerbate all of the issues of that rough patch. So step one is take care of yourself and get on some sort of routine, whether that's a school routine or a gym routine or both, or a work routine, whatever. Try to fix your sleep schedule. I know this is a little hypocritical coming from me because I don't have the best sleep schedule, but all of these sorts of things, taking care of your diet, you kind of have to fake it until you end up getting on a good routine, and then you're like, damn, there's actually some momentum being built up here. I'm disciplined, my room is clean, I'm taking care of myself. And once you're in that mindset, it's much easier to get out of a depressive mindset. On to the next question, preferred condom, none. Can I still drink and hit PRs while being natural? So yeah, you can. It just depends on like what what your goals are really. You can do a lot of stuff and be natural and still hit PRs, but obviously everything is gonna detract from it. Like, can I have a bad sleep schedule and still hit PRs while being natural? Yeah, you can, but it's not gonna help you. You know, can I have a bad diet and still hit PRs while being natural? Yeah, you can, but it's not gonna help you. Like, can I drink and hit PRs? It depends how many other factors in your life are out of whack. Like, if you are flawless everywhere else, but you want to drink on the weekends with your buddies, yeah, you're probably fine. But if everything is fucked, you have a bad sleep schedule, shitty diet, you're not taking your supplements, and then on top of that, you want to drink on the weekends, that's where it's going to become pretty hard. So it's like, there's kind of all of these levers and switches in your life, there's all of these different factors, and only so many of them can be switched off at once before like you simply can't hit PRs anymore, especially if you're natural. And like being unnatural, it's still hard to hit PRs. Obviously I'm at a higher level, so it's gonna be harder regardless, but I definitely notice that like when my sleep is really out of whack for a few weeks, or if I party a lot and drink a lot for like a few weeks, then I'm gonna have a shitty next week in the gym, and that's being on gear. So obviously natural, it's gonna be even more of a challenge. Do you plan on living the influencer life forever, or do you have plans to scale/change your business? I don't think about it like living the influencer life. I just do what I like doing, and I film some of it and upload it for you guys. So am I gonna get tired of that? Probably not. Like even Christian Guzman is making fucking millions of dollars with Alphalete and stuff, but he still makes content. Like, if you enjoy making content, then you're just gonna keep making content. Look at Casey Neistat. Like, he's what, 40, 45 years old, something like that. He's been making content since like the 1990s, I'm pretty sure, or the early 2000s. And he still uploads the occasional vlog on YouTube, even though he has more money than he knows what to do with, has a wife and kids, and could obviously just chill if he wanted to. He still decides to make content because he has a love for it. So I think even if Vical goes to the fucking moon, and Young LA goes to the moon, and Gorilla goes to the moon, and you know, I have more money than I know what to do with, I'm still gonna be making content just because I enjoy putting it out there and connecting with you guys. So that's pretty simple. Then this one is just a screenshot. I thought it was funny because on the exact same page of questions, I have what is the meaning of life? And then a few questions down, I have, do you eat ass? Tips on being more confident in front of people. I think I actually made a note for this one. Yes, I did. So it was a very short note. All I said on my note was, you can watch a million self-help videos, but experience trumps all of that. So what I mean is, if you aren't really a confident person, obviously with the internet age, it might be easy to just go on some fucking YouTube channel. There's one called Charisma on Command. And it's kind of the trap that a lot of people fall into, is they watch so much self-help or self-improvement or becoming more charismatic, becoming more confident, whatever, fill in the blanks. They watch so many of these videos that they get like a little dopamine rush every time they watch the videos because they think they've actually done something. And I remember I used to watch like self-improvement videos all the fucking time, and that is kind of the trap that you can fall into. It's the trap that I started to fall into, but I caught myself and realized what was going on. You can watch all these self-help videos and then continue to not do jack shit because you just fill in that void with watching another self-help video. So it's like, you can watch a video on how to be more confident, and then you go out in public and you're still not confident, so then you come back home and you watch another self-help video on how to be more confident. It's just an endless fucking cycle, and every time you finish watching one of these videos, you think, wow, I just learned something new, I'm a better man because of it. But unless you actually apply that into everyday experience, it's not doing anything for you. So I will say that my confidence has skyrocketed in the past year, and I've watched maybe not 0 self-help videos, but like a handful, maximum. And none of them have been about how to be more confident with people. They've all just been about like how to be more time efficient or whatever the fuck. So I've become way more confident, but it's just because moving to Houston, my actual like amount of watching self-help videos has gone down to fucking here. Experience of actually talking to people and connecting with them and holding conversation with them and getting to know them fucking skyrocketed. Coincidentally, my confidence skyrocketed as well, because just being forced to be put into this situation time after time after time, especially because like people know me, they come up to me in the gym, I'm having multiple conversations every single day with people from all walks of life. Experience is simply the best cure, I guess, to lack of confidence. So moral of the story is put yourself out there and force yourself to actually interact with people, and you will just naturally become more confident over time. Has acid had an overall good impact on your life, or neutral or bad? Definitely good. I don't even need to think about that one. I don't think that I would be where I am without acid. LSD, same thing. My first ever trip, the way I describe it very concisely is it's like you have been colorblind your whole life and then you see color for the first time. So it's not like you weren't experiencing life at all before. You were still experiencing life, but all of a sudden you gain a whole new dimension that has been there all along. You just haven't really been able to see it. That kind of sounds like condescending, I guess, to say like, oh, I have this fucking third eye that you guys don't have. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's not like you gain fucking ancient unknown knowledge or something. It's more just like you gain an appreciation, a new way of viewing life that you wouldn't otherwise have been able to gain, or maybe you could with like extensive meditation or something like that. But I'm too fucking impatient for extensive meditation, so I took a drug instead. And I don't think that I would be where I am without it. Just that I actually remember, and I might have told this story on either Modcast or on a past Q&A. I remember one time, sophomore year of college, and my life was very monotonous. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I was studying computer science. I was a good student, but I didn't really have an intense passion for computer science. I was just good at it. And I kind of knew that I wanted to pursue fitness, but I didn't know how to go about it. And I had this opportunity in front of me, but was it really enough of an opportunity? There's so much risk. And I remember I took acid one day, and I was listening to Time by Pink Floyd, which is a fucking amazing song. If you haven't heard Dark Side of the Moon, you should just listen to that album in solitude from start to finish, preferably with headphones on. It's a fucking amazing album. It was one of the lines, let me think of the line. Okay, so here's the line. Three lines. You are young and life is long, and there is time to kill today, and then one day you find 10 years have got behind you. No one told you when to run, you missed the starting gun. Those are beautiful lines, but when you listen to it sober, you just kind of appreciate them. But when I was tripping on acid, it spoke to me, and I was like, holy fuck, there is no starting gun. No one is gonna tell me when to run. My life is on me. And in that moment, I texted my friends who were planning on moving to Manhattan that summer, and I'm like, let me move in with you. Because they've been asking, they could kind of tell, because these people knew me really well, and they could tell that I needed some sort of change. And they were like, move to Manhattan with us. And I'm thinking, there is no good reason for me to move to New York. And then right after that, I texted them, and I'm like, I'm moving in. It's happening. What's the fucking budget? How much is it gonna cost? And then Manhattan, I was closer to like David Lade. I was just more active in general. I was more motivated to make content because of that. And that really, that is what kickstarted my career. So that random impulsive decision to just completely upend my relaxed life and move somewhere completely different and essentially not live on my own, but not live with my parents, is why I am where I am today. So thank you, LSD. Opinion on the recent amount of deaths in bodybuilding, considering you're gonna compete. I've had a lot of people reach out about this, mainly family and friends, because they see the articles and they're like, oh, I know James is on steroids, so he might die too. Which I'm not trying to make fun of them. I can see, they care about me, but no, it doesn't really worry me. I think it's more so just a reminder to like not push the drugs, always take health first, and like look at other avenues of growth before deciding to push the drugs. Like recently, I wanted to add more drugs, honestly, because I was like, I'm not growing fast enough. And then I got some advice from a trusted friend who was like, bro, have you ever actually pushed the food? Have you ever gotten fat in your life? And I'm thinking, no. He's like, have you ever lost visible abs in your life? I'm thinking, no. And he's like, what are you eating right now? Like 3,700 calories a day? I'm like, something like that. And he's like, dude, drugs are not gonna help you. Adding more drugs on top of what you're doing is not gonna make you grow any faster. You literally need to just eat more food. It's that simple. Buy appetite stimulating drugs if that's what you wanna do, but don't add more gear. And it's just little things like that where the recent bodybuilding deaths, they are worrying, I guess, but they're more so just like a reminder to like always take health first and not just mindlessly add more drugs on top of shit. Yeah, and get your blood work done. How do you feel about being young and quote unquote famous? I don't really ever think about my follower count or anything like that, and I don't consider myself famous. I would say I'm well known, but I never think about that, or if I like walk into a party or a room with a bunch of influencers, I never walk in thinking about my status and my position on the fucking hierarchy. I just walk in as myself, and then sometimes I'm reminded of it when people will be like, bro, you've been blowing up and blah blah blah. But when I'm just alone with my thoughts, I never think of like, oh, I'm the fucking man, I've got all these followers. So I would say it doesn't really feel like anything because I don't think about it all that much. Sometimes I give myself a pat on the back for how far I've come, but I don't really, it's not like a part of my personality. My follower count is not a part of my personality. Do you think you'll ever become jaded towards lifting? Jaded, I believe, means like not passionate or just kind of bored. Let me look up jaded. Tired, bored, or lacking enthusiasm. Yeah. I mean, I think I already am to some degree and have been for a while, and that's where discipline comes in. Like, there are some days where I'm super fucking ready to go lift, and I want that outlet, and I want to push myself, and there's other days where I have to fucking drag myself to the gym, and I'd say it's like 50-50. It's just about getting the work done. I mean, it's really that simple. Motivation will only take you so far, and then discipline fills in the gaps. Or something like that. Actually, I don't even know if that's a quote. I might have just made that quote up. So if you use that quote, at me. Ever had hamstring cramps during sex? Yes, a lot. I would advise taking potassium before you have sex, like megadose potassium and magnesium. Does Hannah care about some of the gear and also recreational drugs that you do sometimes? What's funny is she doesn't really care about the gear because she understands that just comes with the territory, but the recreational drugs, she just wasn't raised like that. And I'm not saying my parents raised me to like do drugs, but they were more open-minded about that kind of stuff, and they always told me to like stay away from drugs. But when they said drugs, they were implying like heroin, meth, coke, like the hard shit. But I was never told like don't do LSD or don't do mushrooms. And honestly, my dad's done psychedelics. He spoke pretty highly of them. So it was, I never had that kind of negative stigma towards it. So I don't blame her for having that. She was like pretty against it at first, but now she doesn't plan on doing LSD herself or mushrooms or anything like that. But she's more cool with me doing it because I've explained my experience, and I've explained like this stuff is not heroin, it's completely different. So we've had the conversation, but in terms of gear, she doesn't really care at all. Ass or tits? I don't think I've ever answered this question. It is objectively ass, and if you disagree, you can unsubscribe. Don't unsubscribe, please. One thing you don't like about having so much mass. So I would say being judged by other people before they've even talked to me. Not necessarily even in a bad way. They might not judge me and think that I'm stupid or like have no personality, but they might just, how do I not sound condescending saying this? I look so different from a normal person. Even people that go to the gym, like I'm on gear. This is my living, this is what I do. So obviously I look like very fucking big, so I understand why. But sometimes when like every single person I meet, the first fucking thing out of their mouth is like some joke or some pun or something about like the guns or the muscles or blah blah blah. I don't blame them at all for it. It's just a little bit like, okay, I wish maybe it's time to start wearing fucking oversized long sleeve shirts or fucking hoodies everywhere I go. Which muscle group are you most proud of? Specific muscle group or just like overall muscle group? Because I would say my legs in general, but specifically my quads. And the reason for that is just because I have pretty bad quad genetics in terms of building and keeping muscle. So the fact that they're actually starting to become pretty respectable is a testament to the amount of what? What's the word, James? Hard work? Something like that. If you could only do 5 exercises for life, what would they be? I didn't actually think about this one. Okay, bench, squat, deadlift. So that covers like some back, some chest, legs, okay, shoulders. I need shoulders, right? So overhead press, I guess dumbbell row, and then I'm just gonna have to live with having small calves, which I've done for 22 years anyway. So that's that. Yeah, that is the end of the Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Before I go, I just did an ad, like a little just selfie ad for the cortisol blocker. because I use it a lot and I've gotten a lot of questions about it. Basically, cortisol is the stress hormone. So this is the Gorilla cortisol blocker, by the way. It doesn't have any branding on it. I don't really know why. Actually, it doesn't have any branding on it. You could pick up this bottle and not a single person would know where it came from. Oh, I guess it does say koshnutrition.com. But anyway, cortisol is the stress hormone, and you know, with just the amount of like modern living in terms of like office work or this or that, being in front of a screen all day, which I definitely am, you are messing with your natural fight or flight response, and you're kind of like redlining yourself all day, especially with stimulants, because if you work out, you're taking stimulants at least once a day, and then if you drink coffee in the morning, that's twice a day. So you're kind of always in fight or flight. So I just take the cortisol blocker before bed. That way I can actually recover when I sleep rather than having stress hormone pumping through my veins as I'm trying to sleep. That's the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to get this, it just restocked. You can use code JAM on any of the Gorilla Mind products. You can use code JAM for any of the Young LA stuff. I'm wearing the sleeper set right now. Amino Asylum, I'm not allowed to plug that. Code MOG for Anabars. And that's that. Okay, this part was recorded after I just ended the video, but I thought about it and I wanted to add this in. I didn't want to rip on the self-improvement videos too much because they can be helpful. And if you actually do think that you're lacking in knowledge of how to like interact with people, like fundamental shit, then definitely watch some self-help videos. Like Charisma on Command has a few good ones. I mean, it has a lot of good ones. I haven't seen too many of them, but I know I have friends that have like watched his stuff. You can still watch them. My point is, make sure you actually incorporate that into talking to people. That is the most important thing. Most of you can probably get away with no self-help videos if you just talk to more people. Some of you might need to watch the self-help videos, and that's fine, but at the end of the day, you still have to actually go and apply that into real life. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one.